Hello students, in this lecture we will discuss major works of James Joyce. James Joyce is widely considered to be one of the most important literary figures of the 20th century and of Ireland, known for reworking myths into contemporary narratives as well as incorporating the characters of the city into his works. Joyce was one of the key players of modernism, whose works came to define the movement. In this list, we will take a look at some of the major works in chronological order produced by Dublin native. First is Dubliner. Dubliner was Joyce's first publication of prose and the only collection of his short stories published during his lifetime. These 15 short stories depict the Irish middle class at the height of the Home Rule period, when the Ireland was wrestling with its identity under British rule. Many of the issues snapshot faced by the characters in this collection snapshots the concerns of many early 20th century Irish class, Catholicism, nationalism, modernity versus tradition, and infidelity. Its longest work was The Dead, concerned a university professor who attends as annual party and dinner with his wife. Here he learns that his wife had been in love with a young boy named Michael Furry, who had died tragically many years ago. The professor soon begins to realize that he had never and would never be as close to his wife as she had been to the dead young man. A short yet powerful tale, The Dead draws parallels between the loss of the life and the loss of love, using the desolate backdrop of an Irish winter to emphasize the desolation of the characters. The story was later adapted into the acclaimed film by the legendary director John Hudson. The next important work is A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, which is prescribed in your syllabus. The first full-length novel written by Joyce, this highly acclaimed work allows the reader to delve into the mind of Stephen Douglas, Joyce's literary alter ego. Douglas undergoes an intellectual awakening, prompting him to defy conservative conventions held by both the Catholic Church and Irish society as a whole, eventually culminating in his departure from the island and subsequent setting in mainland Europe, mirroring the direction of Joyce's own life. A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man is also indicative of Joyce developing modernist style with minimal dialogues and marked use of free, indirect speech, revealing the inner psychology of the protagonist. The next is Isles. Joyce's only play was inspired by his novella The Dead, concerning a much similar love triangle between a writer named Richard Rowan, his common law wife Bertha, and Rowan's good friend Robert Hand. This relationship is complicatedly interested by a second love triangle. The two men and Hand's cousin The story contains many autobiographical elements in Joyce's own life, including Rowan's complicated relationship with his expatriate friends in Italy and his disdain for Dublin. Exiled is also considered Joyce's worst publication and was rejected for performance by one of the Joyce's biggest champions, W.B. Yeats. It would premiere with stage entirely in German in 1919, with the English language premiere happening in New York. For a modernity successful run in 1925, it was shut down after a very short run in London and following years, and wouldn't again see the stage lights in that city until Harold Pinter directed a version in 1970. The next very important work is Ulysses, a book which almost requires no introduction. Ulysses has long been regarded as one of the key works of modernist literature and one of the greatest novels ever written. Set over the course of one day, the 16th June 1904, the reader follows a day in the life of Leopold Bloom and experiences the various encounters he has with some of Dublin's other inhabitants. By modeling Ulysses on Homer's Odyssey, Joyce creates a sense of epic and transforms Bloom's journey through contemporary mundane Dublin into one of mythic proportions. While nobody would describe Ulysses as an easy book to read or even comprehend, many people from all over the world are drawn to its complexities, subtlety, and unique stream of consciousness structure. Bloom's Day, an international celebration of the life and the works of James Joyce, is held every 16 June, during which many of the novel's moments are relived on the streets of modern Dublin.